Hey y'all, what's up? I'm Mimi, aka the Piscean Seer, and this is one of your daily collective messages. Like, and subscribe if you get anything out of this. Thank you so very much to those of you who do like, subscribe, and comment. It is always and forever going to be loved and appreciated. God, archangels, ancestors, ascended masters, cosmic guides, all beings of the highest and purest white light only, with the best interest of me and the collective at heart. You are always and forever welcome into my readings, okay? Please give my wonderful, fabulous, and amazing Piscean Seer family the best and most accurate information for them at this time. Hello, my beautiful lovers. Welcome to any new subscribers, okay? Welcome back to my subscribers who are already here. I love and appreciate each and every single one of you guys. Thanks for coming and thanks for coming back. So this is an archangel Uriel reading, okay? So I got mattress. I wrote mattress symbolism because I was just driving down the street. I seen a mattress next to a dumpster, and I seen like a random mattress on the side of the road, and then I seen a mattress like in the middle of the street, and I was like, is this a sign? This is a fucking sign, okay? It has to be like. There's no way there's this many just rogue mattresses out here. You could be seeing mattresses all around, okay? So I'm gonna tell you the symbolism of it. If I can just unlock this thing. Also this morning I heard look in a book, and I was like, what? A book? And I was thinking about what book, and I was like, okay, and I just heard like one of my books, okay, one of my books. So I have all these books, all these notebooks that I've taken 1,000,001 notes in, okay? And so I'm supposed to look in that book, but I'll do it after I tell you the initial notes, okay? Because I don't know what I'm supposed to be getting out of there. So it says a mattress is beyond its practical function as a sleeping surface, often symbolizes comfort, rest, and a sense of home. In various contexts, it can also represent attachment, hospitality, and status, or even struggle, depending on the cultural or symbolic interpretation, okay? So, I mean, there's quite a few things in there. You could be feeling very comfortable. You could be getting a lot more rest and just feeling more at home within yourself, you know? But also, I think you could be very aware of any attachments that you might have, or any attachment that you've released at this time. And I think that your niceness, your peace, this good energy that you put out, like, it gets you a lot. Like, you run into a lot of people with that good hospitality type of energy. I feel like people are receiving you like in public a lot better because you're so nice. Like, you're giving off this good energy. You might not even necessarily be all that nice, you know, but I think you put off such a nice vibe, and people still just want to talk to you, even if you're just like, why is everybody talking to me? Like, I just want to go to the store and go home, you know. So also, your status could be going up, okay? And you could have been going through some struggles recently, but I feel like any struggles are temporary, okay? You don't have to worry about that. You just have to, like, start to reframe your mind to that way of thinking, okay? Archangel Uriel, like I tell y'all all the time, he works with air. He works very closely with your mind, your crown chakra, the way that you think, you know, how you execute certain ideas, and how you do a lot of practical planning, earthly matters is what I'm hearing, okay? He helps you with a lot of your earthly matters, whether you are aware of this or not. So the next thing that I got was 8188, and I wrote Greek and angel. Well, Greek and Hebrew, they're kind of the same thing, okay? So I'm gonna look at that one first. Because you get the same thing. And with either way you Google it, okay? It says barley. It says the Greek word associated with 8188 translates to dishonor, insult, or treat with contempt, okay? But that feels like a closed cycle, though. It says it can refer to dishonoring someone through words, deeds, or even thoughts. So, I mean, it could represent like gossip, or maybe people thinking about you in a negative way. But we all know that that kind of thinking about you, my beautiful, beautiful soul family member, is just kind of ridiculous, because like I said, you radiate this energy of like happiness and peace. And I don't know, like some people, somebody like really hates that about you. Like they really dislike this peaceful auric energy that you give off, you know. But I see blue, which is catching my attention. And that makes me think about Archangel Michael, okay? So you're highly protected. You don't have to worry about anything. It says barley, though. Okay, so that was the Greek meaning. So this one actually has two different meanings. That's hilarious because I said most of the time they mean the same thing. But this one is two different meanings. And this one, the Hebrew meaning, is barley, okay? And barley carries that energy of ideas. No, it says it evokes ideas of provision, harvest, and sustenance, okay? So you are provided for, and you always seem to get to that harvest. No matter how many obstacles are in your way or how many people try to like stop you from getting whatever it is that you're going after, you know, like you always end up in a place where you have everything that you need and you're able to like sustain, okay, to keep everything going no matter what happens. And I think that's very irritating for these people up here with the thoughts, words, and deeds that try to dishonor you. There is no dishonoring you because you're standing in your strength at this time, you beautiful earth angel, and that's why you receive provision the way that you do, because you know you keep your composure in difficult situations, okay, and you act with compassion first. And like I said, Archangel Michael protects you very well, so you just really don't have to worry about anything, okay? All right, what else? I don't know where to put this. Like seriously, I have a stack of these in the closet, just with a whole bunch of different notes in them. This one is like dog-eared, and it has a card, and it says banish negative energy ritual. It says boil 5 cups of water and let it boil 5 minutes. Let it cool to room temperature. Sprinkle salt in a straight line outside of windows or doors of the room. It says, I am a sub creator calling of the wait I am a sub creator of the one creator, calling upon the one creator to bless this salt and allow the one counterpart entities who are also serving the one creator in the negative polarization to accept this offering and take this offering. I got this from Sam the Illusionist, okay? He was channeling Archangel Metatron, okay? And Archangel Metatron was telling him that like there was this negative energy that had like that had like moved into a tree outside of his house. Like I know it's crazy and it's way out there, but I mean these types of things are possible. Trees hold life just like people do, okay? And it was just like a monitoring spirit type of energy, okay? So I don't think you necessarily need to do this whole like banishing ritual. I didn't even do it, okay? I just wrote it down because I thought it was interesting and I think it's a good thing to know how to do. But I think that maybe you might need to ask Archangel Michael to help you with certain negative energies being banished from your energy, okay? So this card says, what we see in the symbology of tarot derives in large measure from our own intuition and once revealed reflects back upon each of us to further enrich our lives, okay? So you could be thinking about like getting into tarot and really wondering like if you have to always be on the negative energy in order to do that, and you just really don't, okay? Like that's kind of what I'm an example of. Like I really go either way. I try to really balance the information and give you all the good and give you all of the bad and everything that, you know, spirit feels like you need to know. It's just all about you and how you deliver your shit and who you are and what you want to really represent, okay? Like you can do it however you want to do it, but also before I even thought about doing this or helping other people, I learned how to do shadow work with tarot, okay? I learned how to utilize it to help me to heal myself and to find things within my mind or different patterns that I needed to break in order to heal to the point where I could be able to help other people. And this is something that happened like very intuitively, but that's really one of the first things that I learned to do with them was to read myself. Because at first, there is nobody else to read most of the time, okay? So it also says dandelion, black cat, dolphin, mermaid, crow, and Cleopatra. Those things could be significant, or if any of those call out to you, you should look it up, okay? It says 102, it says 481, it says 808, 141, 622, and 707, okay? Those could be some numbers that you're seeing or something. It says crystal infused water, teapots made of crystal, red glass or metal pots with interchangeable crystals that fit inside for infusing tea with crystal properties, okay? So you could be someone who has like one of those water bottles where you put crystal in it, or you might believe in like infusing your liquids with that crystal energy. I think it works, okay? I've tried it. I think I like it. I think it's cool. But, whatever. I don't know. That seemed like a lot of random information to me, but I'm just following the directions. I mean, if any of that resonated with you, then, look deeper into it. But how are you seeing their energy? I'm really hearing what needs to improve in their energy. We got no, okay? So you need to get a little bit better at saying no, I think. Like, when you really don't want to do things, like, don't be saying no to stuff that you don't want to do, okay? Sometimes saying no is the very thing that saves you, and you can feel in your energy when you really think the answer should be no, but you say yes anyway because maybe you don't want to let somebody else down, or you want to be there, or you want to help, or whatever. Sometimes it's more healthy for you to just say no when you feel it in your gut, because it always ends up being some BS or something that you have to work yourself out of, or you end up having to like get yourself back to a comfortable place where you were because you ignored your intuition and decided to help people anyway because you want to see harmony and resolution in everybody's life. But you have to have that in your own life first. You can't just go around trying to like make everything better for everybody. And sometimes, to some people, that shit sounds like so selfish. Oh my gosh, how could you not want to help everybody? It's like, I do want to help everybody, but also I have to be realistic and remember that I got shit to take care of, and I have to help myself first sometimes in order to even be able to help other people. And I'm getting like, you're just trying to keep the harmony in your life, like I think and so Uriel is saying in order to do so, you have to learn to say no, to separate your energy a little bit more from the energies of other people sometimes, because it can be overwhelming. See, clear, cancel, and release when I part the deck. Like, you have to learn how to block certain things and sometimes certain people out, not all the time, but at times, for the health of you and for you to be able to be more beneficial, to benefit the other people that you want to help so bad. Okay. My cat is scratching the wall. Okay. Stop it. What else? So we got the Page of Cups, we got the Eight of Cups, and we got the Hermit card. So Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio energy, first of all, with all the cups. And then the Hermit is that Virgo energy. So you could be any of those signs. Also, we got Libra right here at the bottom of the deck. Or those signs could be highly aspected in your chart. I feel like when it does come to the way that you're thinking about, like, new relationships and other people and things like that, it's really great. But the Eight of Cups is more of that like walk away energy. Yesterday I was talking about being a master of walking away, but some of you guys still got a little bit of work to do when it comes to walking away, when it does come to like detaching from certain people or attaching to new people that come into your life too quickly, right? Because everybody doesn't always just, put it all out there on the line. Sometimes there are things hidden, and there are signs, and there are things that we're not necessarily paying attention to because we're eager to have a new friend, or we're eager to just help out this new person that we just met because we want to build a relationship with them, and we like, who they are, their energy or whatever. But Spirit is just saying, like, don't be so quick, don't be so hasty to jump into new things. And there could even be some sort of new thing or a new connection that you might need to walk away from. I think that Uriel saying it's kind of better to just really follow your intuition and spend a little bit more time alone or like around home. Like, I think that's much more safer for you, especially since I was talking about like that gossip and somebody trying to like dishonor you, okay? Like, don't try to disconnect your intuition from your brain, okay? Like, they work together. The minute your intuition starts throwing off those alarms, you're gonna start overthinking. And you're gonna, you know what I mean? Or you get like, I don't know about you, but me, when I start ignoring my intuition, okay, I be like so ungrounded. It's like it's like an immediate ungrounding, and then I'm just like easily confused about things. I start losing things, I start being very clumsy, and then it's like also a lot of things could go wrong around certain people. A lot of things could go wrong, different things happening, times changing up, and it just all makes me very anxious, and I just get to have this really strong feeling like I don't want to do it, or I don't want to go, I don't want to help, I'm not interested in doing nothing over there. And that's like really how these are like really big signs, is what he's saying. Like, you have to learn to trust your body, to allow your intuition to sort of like lead you to where it is that you want to go, and to let you know who it is you want to be around and who is not really good for you to be around, okay? Because sometimes we want to be around people that ain't good for us, right? Because we don't know that they're not good for us yet. So you have to follow your intuition. You know how many times I ignored my intuition about a new person? So many times. So many times, okay? Just like, like they're cute or whatever. Just ignore my intuition for the dumbest, little, tiniest little reasons. But I was still growing and learning, and I really didn't understand what that was. I thought I was just really anxious, and I just, didn't really like, I don't know, I just thought I was weird in a certain type of way, but I really didn't understand what was going on. Like, just certain things that I would just feel with my whole body, like I really don't want to be doing this or being here, or I really don't want to be, sitting in this spot waiting for this person. Like, it would just be so physical, and I would just be like, I gotta go. And it got to the point where people started thinking like, oh, you're tripping, or and then as soon as I leave, shit gets shot up. As soon as I leave, then all this shit be happening, and then people be like, oh, you was right, we should have listened to you while I'm at home with my pajamas on, okay, eating some cereal or some shit, because I finally learned to start listening to my intuition, okay? So you have to do the very same thing, because that shit will save your life. And I'm sure it has before in the certain times that you did listen. But he's just talking about like more of a merging between, I guess, the solar plexus and the crown chakra. Like, putting the two energies together, okay? We talk about them all the time, like sort of like they're these separate energies, but they're really not, and each one could be merged with the other to unlock a much more magical and beautiful part of you, okay? So we got Sagittarius with the World Explorer, okay? You could be that kind of energy, really shooting your I was gonna say shooting your sights high, okay? Shooting your shots and setting your sights high. You could have really big goals, really big things you want to shoot for, but also this Sagittarius energy could be significant. We got Saturn with limits and lessons, and it came out and kind of like went like this, like it wants to be in reverse, but I'm gonna keep it upright. But I guess in reverse, it would kind of represent you releasing certain limits and learning certain lessons for yourself. But I don't know, upright for me, Saturn energy represents like this return. So I guess it's kind of like all of the above. Like, not only are you releasing the thought of having limits and learning your lessons. But because you're doing that and you're doing it like very consciously, it's causing this big return to come back to you, like I said, with the people being like really nice to you in public and just helping you, and things being a lot easier for you. Okay, the lights turning green for you and all of these cute little things that add up to a good day, right? We got Aries with the combative. Okay, so I mean, what about it? We got Uranus with change and new beginnings. Okay, so it's like you do have like little spiritual wars and things like that, but you're not fighting them. It's like this energy that you've surrendered to the divine. Like, that's why your biggest thing that you need to work on is just saying no and preserving your energy more and just listening to your intuition a little bit more. It's like you're not in this place where you're very combative with people. You're just going with the flow, and you're just like not making, what is it? A molehill out of an anthill or some shit like that. You're not making these little things so big and having all these like emotional reactions. You're just kind of going along with the thing, and it's making it a lot easier for you than you think it does. What is this? We got Taurus with the sensual. It's like you're feeling and enjoying the beauty of life, though. Like, you're doing so good. I don't want none of that stuff that I said before to make you feel like, you're not doing what you need to be doing. You are, but there's just certain parts of what you're doing that you might need to amp it up just a little bit more, so that spirit can amp up your protection in those things a little bit more. Yeah, we got Trine with support and inspiration. Okay, so they want to support you in your inspirations, and that's why they want you to be so cautious about like who you have around you, or to be very serious about your alone time and the time that you need to recharge, and to be very serious about your boundaries and not be afraid to say no to people, because sometimes no is the best thing you can say. What's the world explorer and limits and lessons? We got Virgo with the alchemist. Okay, so you are transmuting a lot of energy, or you need to utilize the violet flame and little meditations like that in order to transmute more of this negative energy out of your life. But it could be as simple as just a prayer. It's always just as simple as a prayer. Just saying like, ask Count Saint Germain. Okay, he's great with the violet flame. Also, I don't want to say the wrong name. Okay, Count Saint Germain is great with the violet flame. But you can ask any angel to assist you with anything like that, and they all have the skills that it takes to assist you in that. Okay, that is why they were put in your energy as these guardians and guides and teachers. They can help you with anything that you need help with. So just remain aware of that fact. Like, don't forget to transmute, right? Because sometimes it's really easy. You get frustrated, you get angry, and the last thing you're thinking about is doing some fucking breathing techniques or taking the time to call out the spirit and ask for this. You know what I mean? Like, so just remind yourself to sort of like transmute that energy and try not to get so angry. Okay, it even happens to me too. With Saturn and Aries, we got Venus with love and beauty. Yeah, keep expressing that loving, beautiful energy that you have, and that really helps you a lot. Just operating out of that energy of love, like that's the vibration, that's the frequency you want to be operating out of, because it makes you very attractive. And when it does come to people that want to be combative with you or start issues or whatever, it has way less of an effect, because that it's like that frequency they're putting off, it just kind of like dissolves when it hits that frequency of love. What's the Aries and Uranus? Excuse me, we got Chiron with inner healing. Okay, so this is why your inner healing is important. Keep focusing on that. You've been doing such a great job, and maybe that was why I was talking about using tarot to like heal yourself. It's great to use tarot to get all the drama and all that shit, but that's what really got me attracted to it, is the fact that it can be so instrumental in getting you to a better place mentally, okay? So keep focusing on your inner healing. That's like such a powerful thing that you're doing for yourself. You're doing such a great job. We got square with challenge and disharmony. It's like you're coming out of this cycle of disharmony where everything sucks, and spirit's kind of teaching you to protect yourself physically in little easy ways where you don't have to do too much, like just as simple as saying no, or following your intuition and not even giving anybody the time of day, or what's Taurus and Trine? We got the south node of the moon with old karma, okay? So it's like releasing all of this old karma, all of these old lessons, and all of the things that you've been through, and letting more of your essence and personality shine, and not being afraid to do these dreams, in a big way, okay? So a lot of inspiration coming into you, okay? But it's important that you stay tempered at this time, and I'm gonna go ahead and put that with the alchemist, the world explorer, and lemons and lessons. Because it's like, as long as you're tempered, as long as you're transmuting this energy, the way that you view the world is completely different, right? Walking around with a whole bunch of attachments, it makes you heavy, and you really can't think clearly or execute your plans for the future properly, because like I said, it becomes heavy. It kind of slows you down and weighs you down. So Archangel Uriel just wants you to be aware of that, and to know that the way that you think is very important. I've seen the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords, and the Four of Swords is under that, okay? So keeping the two sides of you very balanced in the way that you think, keeping your masculine and feminine energies and your heart all on one accord, and having this Four of Swords, peaceful mind type of energy throughout any and all situations, okay? It sounds hard, but you really do get better at it the more that you practice, and you might even have those days where you get pissed off, okay? You might cuss somebody out. You might, just start crying because you're frustrated and you're just tired of things going the way that they've been going. But as long as you can bring your mind back to that place of peace, and really look over the situation and be like, okay, maybe I was tripping. Maybe I was just, upset. I needed to express that, or whatever, and just move on from it. Like, don't beat yourself up because you have emotions that you want to express, okay? But try to keep your mind in a peaceful place. Like, don't be pointing a finger at yourself. We got the Seven of Pentacles, making positive investments through the way that you think, manifesting by focusing on thinking more positively. Because when you let like the negativity take over, it comes with a lot of like sneaky thoughts, and a lot of like, like, I should have did this, or I should have said this, or I should do this, you know what I mean? It kind of, it's easier for you to go to a petty place, okay? So just try to stay as far away from the petty place as possible, and focus more on your new beginnings and on the positive things. Like, envision these very positive and amazing things that you wish to happen happening in your life, okay? Yeah, we got the Six of Pentacles, which feel like, and they will happen, okay? And it will be handed to you like on a silver platter type of energy, because he's holding these scales, the scales of justice always balance in the favor of those who are operating out of that energy of love. It's the way of the universe, okay? Yeah, we got the Two of Pentacles. So, I don't know. You could even feel like you're kind of teeter-tottering. That could be why I'm kind of talking about both things, about being very positive and about having like negative situations or negative moments in life. It's kind of like, it kind of seems like, one day everything's great and one day everything's bad, But Archangel Uriel is saying like, just keep working at it with the Eight of Pentacles, Just keep working at it. You're not really limited in any way. It's only the way that we think and what we're, able to open our minds up to perceiving or up to believing that holds us back in life. It's not like nothing else. With the Nine of Pentacles, like, you are holding so much like abundance, so much beauty, so much fertility, so many different ways that you could go in life, so much opportunity. But you just have to wrap your mind around that, and it definitely is going to take this work. You have to do it over and over again, and the more you do it, the more you perfect that. and it becomes more of a way of life and not just something that you're trying to remember to do. You know what I mean? What's the Seven of Swords and the Six of Pentacles? We got the Page of Pentacles, you know, but you hold like all this beautiful potential. Like I said, so many different ways you could do, you could go, so many things you could do. It's like the world is your oyster. Okay, so don't be afraid to do anything. Don't hold yourself back, and as long as you follow your intuition, you'll run into the right people. What's the Six of Pentacles and the Two of Pentacles? We got the Ten of Wands and the Empress. Okay, which is gives me that same like teeter totter back and forth type of energy. It's like you have to take the burdens, take the energy from the bad days, from the negative shit. That's why he was talking about transmuting. Transmuting doesn't just like disperse with negative energy. It literally takes that negative energy and turns it into something that works for you. It becomes that negative energy that anybody pushed at you, or any way that anybody tried to dishonor you. All of that shit becomes like this negative energy that get caught in your aura if you don't release it or transmute it. That's why you are an alchemist. That's one of your jobs that you do for God, okay? You transmute negative energy and turn it into positivity. That's why your testimony of all the negative and bad shit you've been through in your life till you came back around to God is so important. Because that's the energy of you transmuting every single negative thing that you've been through and letting it become a badge of honor for the power that God gave you. No matter what you've been through or what you did, right? So like know that that's something that you do very naturally. You have the power to do that, and that type of energy can push you very far in life, okay? And we got alchemy, the philosopher's stone at the bottom of the deck. It says infinity, destiny, and magic, okay? You're tapped into this flower of life energy, meant to always be inspired, you know? Like meant to inspire awe in others and make others want to follow their dreams too. So just follow your dreams, light yourself up, and you inspire others automatically. Yeah, because you're a starseed. Like, remember who the fuck you are, okay? And exercise that shit freely every day. I'm hearing you only live once. That's the motto, nigga, YOLO. And we about it every day, every day, every day. Like we sitting on a bench, nigga, we don't really play, okay? Like, don't play with this life. Grab this life by the horns and get whatever it is that you want, okay? What's Temperance, Eight of Pentacles, and the Seven of Pentacles? We got the Ebens with mystery, reading between the lines, and intuition. Okay, and so that's what I'm saying. Like when it comes to reading between the lines, like you're a master, but all you have to do is follow and listen to your intuition. Okay, like it's all built within you. Okay, God put it all in there. He didn't leave nothing out of the way you operate. You operate perfectly. Okay. No matter how imperfect you may perceive the way you operate to be. What's the Seven of Pentacles, the Nine of Pentacles, and the Seven of Swords? We got the Galactic Federation. And you got these high-ass, like, cosmic connections going on with yourself, too, you know. You're in a true collaboration with Spirit, okay? It says meetings, okay? I heard, like, y'all have meetings in your dreams, okay? Like you go to amazing, wonderful places. You might not, you might forget your dreams all the time because they're too good for you to be telling people about them. What's the Seven of Swords, the Page of Pentacles, and the Six of Pentacles? We got reptilians, predator, survival, tyrannical, you know? I don't know. I feel like you could have quite a few people in the past who have tried to been like tyrants in your life, you know, try to prey on you because they feel like you're weak, because you're nice, or because, you know, you don't always jump to that negative place, but you always end up surviving whatever attacks or whatever negativity anybody brings your way. And you even have the ability to like forgive and to overcome that, you know. And that's amazing. That's everything that protects you from any kind of reptilian, snaky type of energies. What's the Six of Pentacles, Ten of Wands, the Empress, and the Two of Pentacles? We got Kabbalah, the Tree of Life, which is talking about integrations and life lessons, you know. You're supposed to integrate those life lessons, because this is over here where I was talking about the testimony, right? You're supposed to integrate those life lessons and make them something that work for you, that push you forward. And that's how you get all of those fruits, right? That's when your fruits really start to show. When you learn to rewrite your story to something that's very positive, to something that is a story of the underdog coming out on top, and looking at your story as a sad story. Because you live every day and you breathe it, so how could it ever be sad? Nigga, we made it. That's what I hear. Okay, what's evens with the Galactic Federation? We got the Syrians, okay? Artistic integrity and honesty, okay? Like, you need to let your artistic abilities shine on the outside of you in a major way at this time. And know that these things will come because of your integrity and because of your honesty that you walk through life with. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks, okay? People could think whatever it is that they want to think about you, because actions speak way louder than words. Okay? So just continue to express the best parts of you the best way that you know how, and to continue to heal the things that you've been through in the past and you just can't lose, okay? And it's never too late to do anything that you feel like you want to do. You could do whatever you want to do at any time in life. It's people that become millionaires at 60 because they finally found the thing that lights them up or makes them passionate, or the thing that's meant to bring them success. You just never know when it's going to happen. What's the Galactic Federation and Reptilians? We got the Arcturians, okay, which is talking about feeling safe. Look at him in his little invisible protective bubble. Also visualizing bubbles around yourself, you know, pillars of light and things like that. Those are actually really strong meditations, and you don't have to do them for no long time. You can do that shit at any time, right? When you're just sitting there imagining that bubble of protection around you, or imagining your ancestors, you know, holding you in this cocoon of white light, or imagining, you know, this big column of white light coming down from the heavens and cleansing and clearing your energy and keeping you connected with the angelic realm. That's why your imagination is so important, because you might think that you just, you know, imagining things or whatever, but your imagination is actually a very powerful tool. And that's another reason why it's important to release happenings and things with other people, right? Because sometimes you're holding on to a thing, and you might be, you know, you might be able to see that situation clear as day and get mad all over again. And it's kind of like you using your imagination to focus on a negative thing that's a thing of the past, and bringing that thing from the past back into this light, you know, back into this day, this moment, you know. And it's just, it can be dangerous. And that's why he was saying to focus more on the positive thoughts and envisioning the future you want to see, rather than focusing on, you know, anything like what I was just talking about. What's Reptilians and the Kabbalah Tree of Life? We got the tall whites with uncertainty, distrust, and guarded. Yeah, you could be a little guarded too, because of the things that you've been through, which is totally understandable, you know. But he's saying, like, to trust a little bit more in that energy of uncertainty sometimes, and to trust in those times when you get around certain people or step into certain situations and you feel like, you know, you feel your guard go up, but you don't even know why, okay? Your protection's so good that spirit will make you feel uncomfortable and put your guard up for you, and you just like, I don't know why I don't feel like I want to be here, but I know I don't want to be around here. I got to get up out of here, right? You need to trust that, okay? We got alchemy with the Philosopher's Stone again, okay? So, but I mean, we got MIB at the bottom of the deck, which is talking about stalking and intimidation and confrontation, and the shadow self under that with denial, projecting, and shame. Okay, somebody is projecting so hard, and they could be really in your business, but this is what I was saying with the people trying to dishonor you, okay? So, like, that's why, this is why this advice is going like this, okay? I'm just trying to give it to you best I can. With Evens, the Syrians, and the Galactic Federation, we got do not worry, okay? So at the end of the day, you don't have anything to worry about. Like I said, as long as you stay on that frequency of love, people can watch you and judge you all they want. Like I said, it don't matter what they think or what they talking about. As long as you know what you doing is in alignment with God and you feel that in your heart and you doing the positive thing and not out here, trying to tear up people's lives, then you just don't got nothing to worry about. Okay? Because you're royalty, my love. You have the gift of courage, and sometimes doing things differently or choosing peace or choosing to do the right thing is not always the positive thing. It takes a lot of courage to do that. Yeah, we got lucid dreams. I say you could be you could be having a lot of dreams, okay? And then we got God's ambassador. God could be sending you a lot of dream messages at this time, okay? Like really look into your dreams, because you could have a dream about one thing. I've done it before. I've had a dream about one thing and then looked into the symbolism of the dream and got like some totally different stuff, Dreams that seem bad turning out to be really good, and dreams that seem good turning out to be more of a warning. But some dreams, I don't look up things. I feel like I'll go more with the energy and how the dream makes me feel, and like trust that more now. Like before, I used to look it up because I really didn't know much about it, but it's like the more I look into it, the better I get at kind of like reading and deciphering my own dreams. So maybe that's why he's telling you to look more into it. Like whatever you put your energy into educating yourself about, spirit kind of meets you halfway and gives you a whole bunch of downloads that have to do with that. Okay? And so it's like, that's why I say the more you educate yourself, the more spirit educates you. They really do. That's why your interest in the things that you're into are very important, because the more you get into that, the more your angels and guides back you on whatever it is that you're putting your energy and time into. As long as it's in alignment with, the positivity and the way that they kind of want you to go. Like they're not going to support you in some BS unless that BS is like a life lesson. They'll be there to protect you, but they're not necessarily interfering with those kinds of things, okay? It says, my greatest weapon against a bad day is my smile. And I suppose a bunch of free money, but I won't get greedy, okay? You could be having some free money coming in, but your greatest weapon in every day is that beautiful smile that you wear on your face, no matter what's going on in life and what you've been through, for sure. It says, even storms have a calm center. Today, if chaos rises up around me, I will be the eye. And I've told y'all this before, that energy of taking the eye of the storm wherever you go, where you always have that calm center no matter what the fuck is going on the outside of you. It's totally possible. What else? It says, aim big, chase dreams, and live a golden life. What else am I here to do, okay? So that could have been the final thought. But what's the final thought? So we got mural with be your own first priority. Feels kind of perfect. And then we got lavender right here at the bottom of the deck with surround yourself with love, and something lovely will grow from this. So if you do find yourself like being in certain conflicting situations or not being able to say no to certain people, you're going to grow from those situations. Like you're gonna do whatever it is that spirit's guiding you to do. I get this energy like you always do, like you're really open to their advice or to their nudges. It's just like with certain things, I don't know, it seems like you get a little bit stubborn and you're just like you kind of want to see for yourself. Like you don't want to just always follow that little psychic nudge. You just want to like experience life sometimes, and I think that might get you in like a little bit of trouble. Like try not to be hard-headed when it comes to your guidance. Trust me, I had to learn that the hard way too. So it says, whatever you're currently grappling with, you must put yourself first. When you're on an airplane, they always tell you to put on your own oxygen mask before you try to help your neighbor with theirs.
That is to say, if you don't make sure your own energy bar is full, then you'll have no energy to give someone else. Be brave enough to admit when you need to take a step back from the demands of others and work on making sure you're okay. Okay? So, with that, my love, I'm done. I hope you guys got something that you needed out of this, that you have a happy, fabulous, wonderful, and amazing day, and I will see you later. Bye.